In this video we will review the cities and excursions for the Best of Italy and Croatia cruise taken in late June and early July 2024. This was a 9-night journey aboard the Celebrity Constellation. We spent 2 days in Rome before the sailing and 2 days in Venice at the end of our trip. We documented all of our travels on this itinerary and other videos, which you can check out if you're interested. Some of those clips will be featured in this video. We'll also provide tips for future cruisers on making the most of their journey. Before we begin, I want to mention that everyone has their own likes and preferences. Excursions can vary widely from beach outings to cooking classes, so no trip is the same for every family. I'll be sharing the excursions I chose for this journey. Let's get started. In this review, we'll break down each location, detailing what we did, offering tips, discussing the pros and cons of each city, and providing a rating from 1 to 5 stars. At the end of the video, we'll summarize the results. We visited Rome a few days before our cruise. Our experience in Rome was epic. We explored the city's historic sites, including the Colosseum, Vatican City, Pantheon, Spanish Steps, Trevi Fountain, and numerous other famous squares and churches. We stayed near the Spanish Steps and enjoyed excellent food and drinks. Initially, my wife was not fond of bustling cities, but after experiencing all that Rome has to offer, it's now the first city she wants to return to. Tips for traveling to Rome. Get to your departure city at least 2 days early. This reduces the chance of an airplane cancellation impacting the start of your cruise. For those traveling overseas, this also gives you a day or two to adjust to the time change. Consider skip-the-line passes during the busy season. We opted for skip-the-line passes at the Colosseum and the Vatican. If you purchase a guided tour of the Vatican Museum, make sure the ticket also includes skip-the-line access for St. Peter's Basilica. This allows direct access from the Sistine Chapel to the Basilica through a guarded path that only tour groups can use. If you plan to visit the Vatican Museum, do not bring large bags or full-size umbrellas, as they will require you to check them in. Also wear clothing that covers your knees and shoulders, otherwise you may be stopped from entering St. Peter's Basilica or other churches throughout Italy. Pros for Rome include the abundance of activities and attractions. Many of these attractions are within walking distance, but make sure to bring comfortable footwear. Cons for Rome include the large crowds in late June. Additionally, the cruise port is over an hour away from downtown Rome, so plan your travel accordingly. Rating for Rome is 5 stars. We decided to explore Florence on our own, rather than booking a tour through the cruise line. Celebrity Cruises offers a free shuttle bus from the port to downtown Livorno. From there you can walk or take a bus to the train station. Upon leaving the ship through the terminal, we saw many taxi drivers waiting, so we opted for a taxi to the train station. Although the taxi ride cost €30, we figured it saved us around an hour. Most of the taxis were large minivans, so for a family of 5, taking a taxi would be my recommendation. In Florence, we visited the Duomo, the Ponte Vecchio Bridge, and the Accademia Gallery, home to the famous David statue. Each site we visited in Florence was fantastic. One of the highlights was walking through the narrow streets from the Ponte Vecchio Bridge back to the train station. All of our travel within Florence was done on foot. Similar to Rome, we opted for skip-the-line tickets at both the Accademia Gallery and the Duomo. While the Duomo is enormous both inside and out, they allow very few people in at a time, so the lines were very long. If we had more time, we would have loved to stay in the city longer and visit the Uffizi Gallery, but we didn't want to risk missing the ship. If you are taking the train to Pisa or Florence, be mindful that local trains might take an extra 40 minutes due to all the stops. Try to time one of the express trains. Also, finding the return train may be a little tricky, as they do not specifically post the return city of Livorno, rather the train line name. If you're worried about the stress of potentially missing the ship, consider booking a tour with the cruise line. They will hold the ship if one of their tours is running late. Pros of Florence include an abundance of things to do and see around every corner, with most attractions within walking distance. Florence is filled with charming small streets that add to its appeal. On the downside, it was crowded in late June, though mornings were less busy. Florence is about 1.5 hours from the Livorno train station, and bus rides take about the same time. Therefore, over 3 hours of your limited port time will be spent traveling. Rating is 5 stars. Now we travel to Portofino. We didn't book a tour here, but did some research on what to see. This was our first tender port date, and the tender ride from the ship to the port took about 10 minutes. The city is beautiful with lots of charming shops and restaurants. We decided to climb the hill to the church of San Giorgio, Brown Castle, and the Portofino lighthouse. The walk was fantastic. When we returned to town, we stopped for a glass of wine and a cheese plate while sitting on the waterfront. It was a lovely spot to relax, people watch, and admire the clear water. By 11 a.m., we felt we had seen what we wanted to in Portofino, so instead of returning to the cruise ship, we took a ferry to Santa Margherita, which my wife actually preferred over Portofino. While it wasn't as picturesque as Portofino, it had a beach, shops, and a beautiful church on top of a hill. On tender days, when you need a boat to get to shore, you can get priority tender service by booking an early morning tour. Suite guests can also go to the retreat lounge, where they will escort your family to the tender, bypassing the line and the ticketing system. If you're visiting San Giorgio Church, look down at the bottom of the cliff. When we visited, there were several goats resting on the rocks near the water. If you feel you've seen all you want in Portofino, there are ferry options to other nearby areas for further exploration. Pros for Portofino is the charming shops and restaurants. Also, the colours of the buildings and the surroundings views make Portofino a photographer's dream. A con for Portofino are that local attractions can be seen in a few hours. However, this isn't a downside if you enjoy people watching and relaxing. Rating of 4 stars. Next, we travelled to Naples. At this port, we took a cruise ship excursion to Pompeii. The ship excursion eased some of the travel stress. We simply met in the theatre, checked in, and waited for our number to be called. On the way to Pompeii, there was a quick stop at a cameo factory. Cameos are jewellery that are carved out of seashells, and my wife enjoyed the visit. The 15-mile drive to Pompeii was scenic, with Mount Vesuvius visible in the distance. The Pompeii tour was fantastic. I was surprised by the size and excellent preservation of the archaeological site. While we could have chosen a longer tour, we found the 4-hour tour sufficient, and it left us with some free time in Naples. In Naples, we toured Castel Nuovo, explored the Galleria Umberto, massive glass-covered mall, and wandered through some of the bustling side streets to get a better feel for the culture. There are both morning and afternoon tours available for visiting Pompeii. If you're traveling during the summer months, it's advisable to choose the morning tour to avoid the extreme heat. For those who want to spend extra time exploring Naples but still wish to visit Pompeii, opting for the shorter tour, the Celebrity Constellation docked away from the main cruise ship port, so after our tour we took a free shuttle bus a few minutes down the road closer to the city centre. The pros of visiting Naples include the unforgettable experience of Pompeii, which boasts an extraordinary amount of well-preserved history. Additionally, the Galleria Umberto is an impressive and free site to visit. In the centre of the mall, there was a pleasant cafe where we ordered drinks and took some time to relax. There weren't many cons to mention regarding Naples. However, while many of the side streets are charming, the frequent presence of Vespas and cars reminded us that Naples is a bustling city. Navigating through the traffic sometimes detracted from the overall ambience. Rating of 4 stars. Next, we travelled to Sicily. We took the small group Godfather tour, which visited sites made popular from the Godfather trilogy. The ride to the destinations were very scenic, but was a little longer than expected, and the roads are very narrow at points and have a lot of switchbacks. My wife is not fond of heights, but she did not have any issues, but another passenger near us was not too thrilled. I am not a huge Godfather fan, but touring these mountain towns gave me a great perspective on Old Town Italy. When we arrived back in town, we had some free time visit the Messina Cathedral. The Messina Cathedral clock tower, built in 1933, is one of the largest and most compact astronomical clocks in the world. It features intricate mechanical elements and moving statues that perform daily at noon, depicting scenes from Messina's history, biblical events, and mythology. The clock also shows the phases of the moon, the position of the planets, and the zodiac signs. Regardless of which excursion you choose, be sure to set aside time at the end of your tour to visit the spectacular Messina Cathedral and its clock tower. For an even more memorable experience, visit at noon to watch the clock tower show. The Godfather tour offers a delightful view of old Sicilian towns. Our small group tour often arrived at locations before other tours, making the first stop quiet and almost deserted. Cons for the Godfather tour is that if you are afraid of winding mountain roads, you may want to reconsider this tour. However, for those who are not, the views are spectacular. The small group tour did cost more than the regular Godfather tour, but they visit the same locations. Rating of 4 stars. We now visit Brindisi, Italy. Prior to this cruise, I was unfamiliar with the history of Brindisi and why it would be a cruise port stop. However, we left Brindisi with an appreciation of its historical importance and thoroughly enjoyed our visit. After a free 15-minute shuttle bus ride from the port to the town centre, we explored the waterfront, visited a free maritime museum, walked through historical back streets, and visited several beautiful churches. Following our short walk, we opted for an additional walking tour and bus ride around the town. This additional walking tour took us to a few archaeological sites we missed during our initial walk. The bus tour, which included a stop at the large maritime monument, was just okay and not particularly worth it. Quick word of caution. If booking an independent walking or bus tour at the booth near the bus drop-off point, ensure you get your change. While waiting in line, the vendor asked the lady in front of us if she wants her change back, and she said yes. I then gave my wife €100 and she bought the tickets for the walking and bus tour, but did not get any change. When we asked for our change, the vendor stated he had given it to us already and insinuated that we were stealing from him. He gave us the change, but I just got a bad vibe from the vendor. Brindisi is more relaxing to us compared to other cities. While the cruise ship brings in many tourists, the waterfront is pleasant and there is a nice shopping street with restaurants and stores. The con for this port is that there aren't as many sights to see compared to other ports, but we still had a fun time. Rating of 3 stars. We now visit Kotor, Montenegro. One of the highlights from Kotor was getting there through the narrow waterway and anchoring in the bay. We took a tender to land and walked around the old city. When you get dropped off, you can take an underground walkway to the old town, avoiding a busy road. There were many churches to visit, a maritime museum, and charming narrow roads with shops and cafes. There were cats roaming all over the town. We intended on going into the cat museum, but it was closed at the time. We also walked along the ancient city walls and enjoyed breathtaking views of the bay. There is a trail you can take up to the top of the mountain, with a church around halfway up and a castle at the top. There are a lot of steps and it was steep just getting to the entrance gate. We opted against the walk due to threats of rain. Note there is an entrance fee for the trail. Our journey in Kotor was interrupted by a large storm, and we took refuge in a church with a museum inside and a pizzeria for lunch. When the rain stopped, we opted for a private tour to Pest, Montenegro, and took a boat to the Lady of the Rocks. This man-made island features a beautiful church and museum. The side trip to Pest was well worth it. Quick tip, this was another tender port, so keep an eye on the weather forecasts. If storms roll through, they may halt the tender services. During the storm we experienced, the tender service was stopped until the storm cleared. There is no fee to walk around on top of the city walls, and the views of the old town with towering mountains in the background were outstanding. Cons are that whilst I might enjoy the tender ride in Kotor, the travel time from the ship to the port was 25 minutes each way. The traffic was also bad in Kotor. During our private tour, we visited a scenic spot in the mountains overlooking the Kotor Bay. It took 10 minutes to get there from the old town, but nearly an hour to get back. In hindsight, we would have opted against that stop for photos. Rating of 4 stars. We now visit Split, Croatia. We took a celebrity cruise tour to Krka National Park, a journey that took approximately an hour and a half through scenic Croatian countryside. Upon arrival, we were greeted by the park's lush landscapes characterized by dense forests, serene lakes, and a network of picturesque walking trails. The highlight of our visit was undoubtedly the stunning waterfalls cascading down in a series of mesmerizing tiers, creating an idyllic backdrop for photos. After our time at Krka, we returned to Split and ventured into the heart of the old town. Our exploration began with a quick tour of Diocletian's palace, specifically the intriguing basement area where ancient Roman architecture and artifacts brought history vividly to life. As we wandered through the bustling streets of Split, the vibrant atmosphere with charming shops and cafes adding to the city's lively ambience, our adventure culminated with a leisurely stroll along the famous Riva Promenade. This expansive waterfront stretch was lined with an array of restaurants and cafes offering everything from local delicacies to international cuisine. We savoured the vibrant Mediterranean atmosphere with the Adriatic Sea on one side and the bustling city on the other, making it the perfect ending to a day filled with natural beauty and historical exploration. Here's a quick tip. Decide whether history or scenery is more important to you. If you're tired of non-stop history tours, consider visiting the Krka waterfalls or taking a hiking tour instead. After our Krka waterfall tour, we felt very rushed when visiting historic old town Split, as we only had 2 hours to explore after being dropped back off at the ship. The pros at Krka National Park is that it is beautiful and well maintained. Also, Old Town Split had history around every corner and is a must-see. Now for the cons. The Krka excursion started at 9 AM, which was a little later than I would have liked, so we wasted valuable time in the ship while we could have been exploring historic Split. Krka was also packed with people where you would need to wait for foot traffic ahead to clear before moving again. The waterfalls were beautiful but would have preferred more time in Old Town Split. Rating of 4 stars. Zodar, Croatia might not be included on all current celebrity cruise itineraries, but during our visit we explored its Roman and Venetian ruins, admired its churches, and enjoyed the unique sea organ attraction. Beyond the city walls, we crossed a bridge offering stunning views of the water and the old town walls. We opted to take a boat ride, which stopped at 3 different islands with stunningly clear water. When we returned to the old town, we wandered through its charming streets and visited several churches, making for a memorable conclusion to our day. Here are a few tips. While there was a lot to see in Old Town Zodar, you can really get a feeling of Croatia by traveling by boat to other islands and towns. The boat we took as a side excursion was very small, 4 people and a captain. If you plan to take a boat out, judge the wind and look at the water for white caps. If you see white caps, you may want to reconsider. My wife and I did not have any issues, but one of the other passenger got sick on the way back to Zodar. I wish I would have brought my swim trunks. Old Town Zodar is clean, bright, and has a myriad of sites to visit as well as charming shops and restaurants. So there is a lot to do and see. Some of the cons are that there was a fee for the shuttle bus from the port to Old Town Zodar. In 2025, it looks like the Zodar port is replaced with Dubrovnik. While I loved our Zodar adventure, I would have liked to visit Dubrovnik instead. Rating of 4 stars. Our last port stop is Ravenna. From there we head to Venice for our last few days in Italy. Initially I had mixed feelings about Venice based on others' feedback. However, the weather in early July was perfect. Our hotel was just a few hundred yards from St. Mark's Square and St. Mark's Basilica. We opted for skip-the-line tickets for both the Basilica and Doge Palace, which made our visit smoother. Evenings were spent dining at outdoor restaurants with stunning views. We wandered the charming streets. We felt safe and continuously delighted by the beautiful scenery. We also enjoyed a gondola ride. Although we would have loved to spend more time here, including a visit to see glass blowing in Murano, our time in Venice was truly memorable. Here are some transportation tips. Travel time from Ravenna to Venice is approximately 2 hours and 20 minutes. Choosing the best option is crucial for a smooth journey. Options include a private transport. They are expensive but direct and may save time. Cruise transfer to train station involves a bus ride to the train station and a train journey that may require changing trains. Bus transfer to Venice, direct, but may be less comfortable. A final option is water ferry to Venice. This transport type was mentioned by other cruise passengers as the most economical and relatively quick option. Explore various methods for traveling from the port to Venice and determine which suits you best. I opted for a private transport, which included a water taxi from Venice mainland to our hotel. Pros for Venice is that it is one of the most beautiful cities I have ever seen. Cons include getting to Venice from the Ravenna port. Most of the drive are through local towns and many of the roads are extremely narrow. I did not realize all of the sights and history in Ravenna. If I would have known earlier, I might have opted to spend some time there. The rating for Venice is 5. Thank you for sticking with me to the end. As a reward, here's a quick summary of our Celebrity Constellation Best of Italy 9-night cruise. The overall rating is 4.2 stars. If partial ratings were possible, I would have rated Brindisi at 3.5 stars and Naples at 4.5 stars, or a half point higher. This trip was truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience, allowing us to do as little or as much as we wanted. We chose to maximize our adventure and make the most of each day, with only one sea day providing a break from exploration. Our time on the Celebrity Constellation was just as enjoyable as the destinations themselves. While some ports and excursions received lower ratings, there's something for everyone. Whether it's climbing to the top of a bell tower or lounging by the ship's pools, we highly recommend Celebrity Cruise Lines in this itinerary. Stay tuned for more reviews on the Celebrity Constellation and the benefits of booking a suite in the retreat. Also, if any of the videos caught your eye, the full versions can be found on my channel. Thanks again for watching.